Let's talk about que versus lo que. Que means what. Both of these words mean what, okay? But simply, que just means what when it's a question. So, ¿qué hora es? ¿Qué pasa? What's happening? Or what time is it? Whatever, right? Whereas lo que, even though it's two separate words, it's treated as one, which is what whenever it's a statement or basically not a question. And so think about it as like que. And so que is kind of like the what whenever you start a phrase or a question, okay? Whereas lo que is kind of like the what when it's in the middle of the sentence. And so if I want to say, what do you want? You'd say, ¿qué quieres? Right? What do you want? But if I were to say, I don't know what you want, then you'd say, no sé lo que quieres. Because one is a question and one is a statement. Now, there are cases where you'll see lo que in questions. The difference there is that sometimes what is used in statements, but statements are used in question. But generally speaking, que means what when it's a question, and lo que means what when it's not a question. And because of that, it could also mean like that which or the thing that, right? And so if you're saying like, what is it that he wants? You'd say, ¿qué es lo que quiere, right? And so there you can see lo que being used in a question, but there it's not describing the question, right? The what that's describing the question is que, which is why it'd be ¿qué es? And so there it's used as the thing that or that which, okay? And so lo que is only really used as what whenever it's basically a blanket statement, okay? When it's basically a blanket statement, when it's not a question, okay? And que is used when it's a question. Now moving along, and by the way, if you're just getting started, I highly recommend joining the Speedy Spanish Hub. It's a free community I created with a bunch of free resources and guides to help you start learning Spanish with these methods. And it'll be the first link in the description.